Ladies, let me tell you something. When a man is truly scared to lose you, you don't need a magnifying glass to figure it out. You will feel it. Because love is loud in action, not quiet in excuses. I've seen too many people guessing if somebody loves them. Stop guessing. Stop playing detective. If a man is afraid to lose you, he's going to show up, stand up, and step up. So, let's break this down into real-life key points. No sugar coating. When someone truly values you and is scared to lose you, you'll never have to wonder where you stand because they will deliberately make time for you. Time is one of the most valuable resources we have. It can't be stored, borrowed, or replaced. Every person on this planet has the same 24 hours in a day, yet we constantly see that the way someone allocates those hours tells you exactly what matters most to them. If you've ever heard, "I'm just too busy right now," over and over from someone, that's not a scheduling problem, it's a priority problem. The truth is, when people want to, they find a way. When they don't, they find an excuse. Being busy is not the enemy of love. Neglect is. Life will always be full of commitments, deadlines, responsibilities, and challenges. People run companies, serve in the military, care for children, or work double shifts, yet still find moments, sometimes only minutes, to connect with the person they care about. When someone is scared to lose you, they won't treat time with you as an afterthought. They will treat it as essential maintenance for the relationship. They won't squeeze you in like a last-minute appointment. They will build you into their day the way you build a foundation into a house. It's not optional, it's structural. It's also not just about quantity of time, but about the quality and intentionality behind it. A person who values you will create moments of presence, not just physical proximity. They'll put down the phone when you're speaking. They'll show up to that event you told them was important. And they'll carve out an hour to take a walk with you, even when they could be doing something else. This doesn't happen by accident. It happens because they have decided you matter enough to disrupt convenience. And here's the thing. When a person is afraid to lose you, they won't hide behind the blanket excuse of being too tired or too swamped. Yes, there are days when exhaustion is real and life gets overwhelming. But when they truly care, they'll still send that text, still make that quick call, still find a small way to show you they are thinking of you. Why? Because they understand that consistent effort is the lifeblood of connection, and small actions accumulate into big trust. When someone repeatedly says they are too busy, what they're really saying is, "This isn't important enough for me to make room for right now." That's a hard truth to swallow, but it's a freeing one because it removes the fog of confusion. People who fear losing you don't gamble with the clock. They treat your time together as something sacred. Here's a simple example. Imagine a man named Marcus who is in the middle of launching his own business. His day starts at 6 a.m., packed with meetings, emails, inventory orders, and managing employees. He barely sleeps. But he's dating Alina, and he knows she's the best thing that's ever happened to him. He's terrified of letting the relationship slip through the cracks, so he takes small but meaningful actions every day. Some days it's a 5-minute video call during his lunch break just to see her face. Other days he drives across town after work, even if it's just to have dinner with her for an hour before heading back to the office. On weekends, he blocks off Saturday mornings. No business calls, no meetings, just them, maybe cooking breakfast together or walking in the park. Marcus can't give her all his time, but he gives her his best time, and that makes all the difference. Alina, on the other hand, never feels like she's competing with his work for attention because she sees he's intentional. She doesn't have to ask for more effort. It's already there. Marcus's actions send a loud, clear message. I value you enough to create time for you, even when it's hard. That's what it looks like when someone is scared to lose you. They don't just say it. They prove it in their schedule. Love without time is like a plant without water. It doesn't matter how beautiful it was at the start. If it's not nurtured, it will wither. People who want to keep you will keep showing up, not just in grand gestures, but in the regular rhythm of presence. If you matter to someone, they will not let busy become an excuse. They will make you a priority in their calendar, their decisions, and their heart. And if they don't, well, then they're not afraid to lose you. And it's better you know that sooner rather than later. When a man is scared to lose you, you'll never feel like you're begging for his time. He'll give it willingly, joyfully, and consistently, because he understands that once time is gone, you can't get it back, and you are far too valuable to risk. When someone is truly scared to lose you, their ears are not just open to your words, they're tuned to your heart. Listening in this sense is more than the act of letting sound pass through. It is the skill of taking in what you mean, not just what you say. Most people hear you, but few actually listen to you. And there's a difference as wide as the ocean between the two. Hearing is passive, it's just a physical function. Listening, real listening, is active. It requires focused memory and a willingness to value the other person's feelings as much as your own. When a person genuinely cares, they pick up on details, even ones you didn't emphasize. They catch the little sigh in your voice when you say, "It's been a long day." They remember that story you told once about your childhood dog, even if you told it in passing. They store those bits of information like treasures because to them, those details are the map to who you are. And if they're scared to lose you, they keep that map close because they want to understand you better with every conversation. Listening in this way isn't about waiting for your turn to talk or nodding in the right places. It's about stepping into your perspective and wanting to know how life looks through your eyes. It's about noticing the tone, the pauses, the things you didn't say. If you mention a dream you have, they're thinking about how they can support it. If you share a fear, they're already considering how they can ease it. They don't just retain the information, they act on it. One of the clearest signs that someone values you is when they remember and respond to things you never had to repeat. If you said weeks ago that your favorite author was releasing a new book, they might surprise you with it. If you casually mentioned you love the smell of fresh, baked cinnamon rolls, one morning you might wake up to that smell filling the kitchen. These gestures may seem small, but they're built on a foundation of attention, and that attention comes from care. When someone isn't truly listening, you feel it. You'll find yourself repeating the same stories, explaining your likes and dislikes, wondering if you're talking to a wall. But when they are listening, really listening, you feel seen, you feel known, and that's the real magic. Being with someone who's scared to lose you means being with someone who values knowing you as much as loving you. Listening on this deeper level also builds trust faster than almost anything else. Why? Because it shows you that your words are safe with them. You don't have to scream to be heard. You don't have to remind them of your worth. They're already cataloging every reason why you matter. This is how connection strengthens. Every time you share, they prove that your voice makes an impact on them. Let me give you an example. Imagine Sarah and David. Sarah once told David while they were driving home one night about how her grandmother used to braid her hair and hum a certain old song in the mornings. It was a small, warm memory she shared without expecting anything from it. Months later, Sarah had a tough week at work. On Friday evening, she came home to find David in the living room, softly playing that same song through the speakers. He didn't announce it or make a big show. He just looked up, smiled, and said, "Thought you might need a little comfort tonight." That single moment told Sarah more about his love than any long speech could have. It told her he remembered. It told her he cared enough to connect the dots between her feelings and his actions. And it told her he was paying attention even when she didn't think he was. This is what separates surface-level relationships from deep, lasting ones. In a shallow relationship, people communicate just enough to keep things functional. In a deep relationship, especially with someone who's afraid to lose you, communication is not just about exchanging words, it's about exchanging understanding. Real listening is also rare because it takes humility. It means putting your own thoughts on hold and giving space for someone else's. It means you're not rushing to fix, interrupt, or one-up their story. You're there to receive, not to control. That humility is one of the strongest signals that someone sees you as more than an accessory to their life. They see you as a partner whose inner world is worth exploring. At its core, listening is love in action. It's love translated into focus, memory, and follow-through. And when someone is scared to lose you, they know that one of the surest ways to keep you is to make sure you never feel invisible. They will listen when you're happy, they will listen when you're sad, and they will listen when you're rambling about something they don't personally care about. Because you care about it, and that's reason enough, and maybe that's the simplest truth. The people who fear losing you will make sure you never have to fight for their attention. They will be present in the conversation, and they'll use what they learn to make your life lighter, brighter, and more connected. They don't just listen to reply, they listen to remember, and they remember because you met. When someone is genuinely afraid to lose you, they become intentional about safeguarding your emotional well-being. They understand that love isn't just about passion, fun, and shared memories. It's also about protection, and not just in the physical sense. Protecting your peace means they are conscious of how their actions, words, and decisions affect your sense of safety, stability, and happiness. They won't carelessly stir up drama, pick unnecessary fights, or put you in situations that compromise your dignity. Instead, they'll actively create an environment where you can relax, be yourself, and feel secure in the relationship. This kind of protection doesn't mean they agree with you on everything or never have conflicts. Disagreements are a normal part of any close connection, but when a person truly values you and fears losing you, even those disagreements are handled with care. They won't resort to cheap shots or weaponize your vulnerabilities during an argument. They know that some words, once spoken, can leave cracks in trust that are hard to repair. So instead of letting anger drive them into saying something they'll regret, they pause, think twice, and choose a path that preserves respect. People who don't value your peace will often create emotional instability, sometimes without even realizing it. They may flirt with boundaries, keep you guessing about where you stand, or bring unnecessary chaos into your life. That might look exciting in the short term, but over time, it erodes trust and breeds resentment. A person who wants to keep you for the long haul knows better. They realize that chaos might win attention, but peace wins loyalty. Protecting your peace also means shielding you from avoidable stress. If they can handle a problem themselves without dragging you into unnecessary drama, they will. It's not about hiding things from you. It's about not making their chaos your burden when it doesn't need to be. It means not involving you in petty arguments with friends, not putting you in the middle of family disputes unless it's absolutely necessary, and not allowing external negativity to spill into your shared space. They act like a filter between you and unnecessary noise, letting through only what matters and keeping out what doesn't serve your mutual happiness. And it's not only about protecting you from external stress, it's about managing their own behavior so they are not the source of it. They won't play with your trust by lying, cheating, or doing things behind your back. They won't give you a reason to question their loyalty. They understand that love without trust is like a car without fuel. It might look nice parked in the driveway, but it's not going anywhere. Here's an example. Imagine a couple, James and Mia. James has a group of friends who like to gossip and stir up drama. One night, one of them starts making sly comments about Mia's past, trying to get a reaction. James has two options. He could laugh it off and let the disrespect slide, or he could step in and shut it down. Because James values Mia and is afraid to lose her, he doesn't hesitate. He firmly tells his friend the comment is out of line and changes the subject. Later, he checks in with Mia to make sure she's okay and reassures her that she never has to tolerate that kind of behavior from anyone in his circle. That moment tells Maya everything she needs to know, not just that James loves her, but that he's committed to protecting her peace. She doesn't have to fight to be respected when she's with him because he's already looking out for her. This kind of behavior builds a deep sense of trust and security. When you know someone is committed to protecting your peace, you feel safe enough to be vulnerable. You're not on guard, waiting for the next careless comment or reckless decision to disrupt your emotional balance. Instead, you can focus on building a future together, confident that your partner is watching your back. A person who truly loves you and fears losing you won't let the relationship become a source of constant anxiety. They understand that protecting your peace is protecting the relationship itself. Because when peace is gone, resentment creeps in. And once resentment sets in, love begins to feel heavy instead of uplifting. In the end, protecting your peace isn't about grand gestures or dramatic rescues. It's about the consistent, everyday choices they make to keep your heart, mind, and dignity safe. It's the absence of unnecessary storms and the presence of steady, respectful love. And when someone is truly scared to lose you, they'll guard that peace like it's the most valuable thing in the world. Because to them it is. When someone is genuinely scared to lose you, their mindset shifts from thinking only about themselves to thinking about the both of you as a unit. Their vision of the future is no longer singular, it's shared. You'll start to notice subtle but powerful changes in the way they talk, the way they make decisions, and the way they plan their life. Instead of speaking only in I and me, they begin to use when or without even realizing it. This is more than just a change in vocabulary. It's a reflection of a change in perspective. You've become an integral part of their long-term thinking. This doesn't necessarily mean they have every detail of the next 10 years mapped out. Life is unpredictable and plans change. But someone who is afraid to lose you will make decisions today with the goal of keeping you by their side tomorrow. They'll weigh their choices not just by how it benefits them individually, but by how it supports the relationship as a whole. If they're considering a new job, they'll think about how it might affect your time together. If they're making financial decisions, they'll take into account your needs and future plans. If they're envisioning where they want to live, your comfort and dreams will be part of that vision. This kind of investment in the future is not just about big milestones like marriage, buying a house, or starting a family. It's also about the small, everyday actions that build toward those bigger moments. It's about consistency, showing up, keeping promises, and creating stability so that the relationship has a solid foundation to grow from. People who aren't serious about you think in terms of right now. People who are scared to lose you think in terms of forever. It also means they're willing to put in effort to grow alongside you. They don't assume the relationship will magically stay strong without attention. They see the future as something that needs to be built step by step, and they are willing to put in the work. This might look like learning better communication skills, setting mutual goals, or making compromises when necessary. They understand that a shared future isn't built on convenience, it's built on commitment. The language shift from I to might seem small, but it reveals a deep level of emotional investment. Saying, "We should travel there someday," instead of, "I want to travel there someday," is a small signal that they imagine you beside them in those moments. Talking about or home, or plans, or life is a clear sign that they don't just want you for the present. They want to build something lasting with you. Let's put this into a real example. Imagine Daniel and Grace have been dating for a year. One evening, Daniel brings up the idea of going back to school to earn a master's degree. It's a big decision, one that could require him to move to a different city for 2 years. Instead of announcing his plans as if they exist in a vacuum, Daniel says, "I've been thinking about going back to school, but I want to figure out how we can make it work for both of us. I don't want to make a move that would take me away from you unless we've talked it through, and it's something we can handle together." Right there, Grace knows she's not an afterthought in his future. She's part of the equation. Daniel could have made the decision on his own, but because he's invested in their relationship and doesn't want to risk losing her, he treats it as a joint choice, not a solo one. That's the essence of this kind of love. It's about inclusion. It's about looking ahead and making sure the path you're walking has space for two. It's also about the willingness to delay certain personal desires if they conflict with what's best for the relationship in the long run. A person who is scared to lose you will find ways to align their ambitions with the shared vision you both have, or they'll adjust their ambitions to protect what you've built together. Of course, investing in the future with someone doesn't mean losing your individuality or abandoning your personal goals. Healthy relationships have space for both personal growth and shared growth. The key difference is that when someone truly values you, They want their personal growth to complement yours, not compete with it. They'll celebrate your wins, support your dreams, and make sure their own journey strengthens your bond instead of straining it. In the end, this point comes down to intention. A person who is scared to lose you will be intentional about building a future where you feel secure, valued, and included. They won't just say, "I love you now." They'll show you through their planning and their priorities that they mean, "I want to love you always." And when someone makes that kind of commitment, not just to you, but to the life you can create together, you'll never have to question where you stand. You'll already be standing beside them, both of you facing forward, ready to build what's next. When someone is truly scared to lose you, their affection and effort don't come in unpredictable bursts. They come steadily in ways you can count on. Consistency is one of the purest signs of genuine care because it doesn't rely on the high of excitement or the push of convenience. It's easy for someone to be sweet, attentive, and loving when it benefits them, when the mood strikes, or when they're trying to win you over after they've messed up. But when someone's fear of losing you is real, they don't gamble with your sense of security by treating you well only when it suits them. They make it a habit. Consistency is not about perfection. No one can be the ideal partner every single moment of every single day. Life is messy. There will be tired days, stressful days, and even days when misunderstandings happen. But the difference is that a consistent person doesn't let those challenges change their baseline behavior toward you. Their respect doesn't vanish when they're busy. Their affection doesn't disappear when you're not in the best mood. Their commitment doesn't take a vacation just because they're distracted. They don't swing between extremes, warm and attentive one day, cold and distant the next, because they understand how damaging that instability can be. When someone is inconsistent, you're left in a state of emotional guessing. You don't know which version of them you're going to get, and that uncertainty erodes trust over time. But when someone is consistent, you can relax into the relationship. You're not walking on eggshells or trying to earn their good side. You know that their care for you isn't conditional on convenience. It's part of their character. Consistency also separates true connection from performance. A person can put on a show for a short time to impress you, but that act eventually fades if it's not backed by genuine intention. Someone who's scared to lose you understands that one big gesture once in a while, flowers, gifts, an over-the-top date means very little if the rest of the time you feel neglected or uncertain. They know that love is proven in the little, repeated things, checking in on you regularly, following through on promises, treating you with respect, whether you're in public or in private, being emotionally present even when life gets busy. And perhaps most importantly, consistency builds emotional safety. In a consistent relationship, you're not bracing for sudden changes in tone, mood, or effort. You're not worried that the attention you're getting today might disappear tomorrow. Instead, you feel anchored because their behavior gives you proof that you can depend on them. That's the kind of stability that makes love feel like home, not like a gamble. Let's put this into an example. Imagine Alex and Lee have been dating for a while. In the early days, Alex did all the classic romantic moves, surprise dates, sweet texts, constant compliments. But months later, life got busier. Work became stressful, responsibilities piled up, and the honeymoon phase energy naturally leveled out. For many people, this is when the effort starts to fade. But Alex is different. Even on the busiest days, he makes sure to call Lee in the evening just to hear about her day. If he promises to meet her at 700, he's there at 700, or he lets her know in advance if something comes up. On weekends, he still plans little activities, even if it's just cooking breakfast together. He doesn't save his best self for when he wants something from her. He shows up with steady kindness and interest because that's how he truly feels. Leah never wonders if Alex's attention is temporary or transactional because it's not tied to what he can get from her. It's tied to his commitment to keeping their bond strong. That's what makes Alex's love feel safe and lasting, the knowledge that it's there regardless of convenience, mood, or circumstance. Consistency isn't glamorous. It doesn't always come with fireworks or grand reveals. But in the long run, It's the thing that keeps a relationship alive. Anyone can light a fire for a night, but it takes dedication to keep it burning steadily for years. That's why consistency is such a strong indicator that someone is scared to lose you. They're not willing to let the flame go out because they know how much you mean to them. When someone's effort doesn't depend on convenience, you see love in its truest form, not in short bursts, not as a performance, but as a steady rhythm. And when love becomes a rhythm, it becomes reliable. That's when you know it's real. Ladies, here's the truth. A man who's scared to lose you will treat you like you are already gone, and he's fighting to win you back every single day. You won't have to chase him, decode him, or lower your standards for him. And men, let me say this, if you've got someone worth keeping, stop gambling like she's a poker chip. Time is the one thing you can't rewind. If they're scared to lose you, they'll move like it. If they're not, you better move on. Because the right one, he won't just be scared to lose you. He'll be committed to never letting you go.